Hey church, Jared Miller here. I'm the Minister for Families here at St. Andrews, and it's been about 35 days since I was in this space talking about the moment that I thought and think the church is having. I called it our Areopagus moment, and you can go and watch the video by clicking the link here if you want to. But the TLDR is that the church, I think, has been forced to rethink its whole approach to mission. And in doing so has actually discovered that online is a place, but happens to actually be the place where a whole lot of the people we're trying to reach are. And as mission shifts, the approach of the church always needs to shift as well. 500 years ago, it was the printing press that was the height of modern technology. And the very idea that ideas could be mass-produced and shared was so quickly adopted by the church that every church began to have its own little mini printing presses in it. And media, like the issue of ConnXions that will be hitting your inbox shortly, is the natural evolution of a missionary process. But in Acts, we're told that Paul's journey took him into Athens, to the seat of thought and culture in the ancient world. And when Paul got there, he went straight to the place known as Mars's Hill and announced to anyone that could hear him that God had done the amazing work of raising Jesus from the dead. But he didn't do it by quoting Isaiah or Zephaniah like he did in Jerusalem. He did it by quoting from the Greek poets and playwrights and philosophers. He put the story of God into words that his audience could understand. The story of the Areopagus is a story about the importance of communication. The gospel, which is a word by itself that literally means good news, always needs to be communicated in a context that makes sense to the people we are trying to reach. Gospel is more than just the words that we say. Gospel is the medium and the context we use to say them. And so instead of writing an article for ConnXions this week, I decided to make use of this space to tell you about some exciting and important changes that are happening in the ministry south of Fish Creek, directly in response to our new normal. First, we're going to start treating online as a place. Up until this year, most of us had just thought that the internet was a tool. It was a collection of websites where we would go to find the information we were looking for, or it was a medium you use to connect diverse and distant peoples. What we've learned through this season is that for a huge and growing number of people, online is not a thing. Online is a place, and a place where for more than a decade, people have made not only lasting and real relationships, but have managed to have a decidedly significant impact on our world. COVID has shown us at St. Andrew's Church that online gatherings are not a substitute for in-person gatherings, but that they are a way of building real, meaningful connections with people literally all around the world. Secondly, we're going to focus on digital fluency. COVID has helped us to realize that our world has already seamlessly integrated the digital with the analog. Today, more Canadians than ever before are working from home or remotely, and even after all this is over, we've found new ways to stay in contact with friends and family a world away without having to break the bank. How many of you have learned Zoom, or attended your first live stream, or made an online donation to charities or churches that you never would have done before? Our world had integrated digital and analog realities for years, and COVID has helped the church play catch-up. The new normal of COVID has changed our world for the better. It has given the church an opportunity because it's highlighted for those who are outside the church the sheer limitations of life lived without real human interaction and relationship. And for those inside the church, that we are always at our most effective when the walls and the boundaries and the divisions that are inherently artificial are eliminated. COVID has positioned the church to be, in the words of Frederick Buechner, the place where the world's deep need, connection, meets our deep joy, boundaryless grace. And when the world changes, our approach needs to change as well. Which is why today I'm using this space to announce to you the Creek's pivot to digital ministry. Now, calling it a pivot at this point in the ministry might be a bit of an understatement and an underselling for sure, but calling it a missiological reimagining is more of a mouthful, so we're going with pivot. It's our belief that by building a platform of spiritually and socially engaging digital content focused on the community south of Fish Creek, we can more effectively bring God into our neighborhoods as a missional collective and more readily respond with creativity and grace to where we see the Spirit moving in our community. So how does any of this involve you? Why should you care about this at all? Because right now, the Creek team is simply asking you to join us in prayer. Every day for the month of June at 2:21 p.m., the Creek will be posting a call to prayer on its social media accounts. And so follow us on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter in order to get and see all of those and be able to share them with others. We look forward to seeing you at prayer times. But for now, we hope that you'll please keep just taking care of each other. Please keep taking care of yourselves as well. All the best for now.